Next up is our big part of the meeting, and that is speeches. The first person up is working on his dynamic leadership, researching and presenting. He's working on his level 1 pathway speech, and the title of his speech is The Yoruba People. The Yoruba people are originally from West Africa, mainly in southwestern Nigeria, Republic of Benin, and Togo. They are also found in the USA, predominantly in South Carolina. Brazil, Cuba, and Jamaica is also the home to the Yoruba people. Would all Toastmasters welcome Jide's Adetutu? Jide, could you take yourself off? There you go.
Thank you, everybody. You give me a minute. I need to set up and share my screen.
Okay.
You let me know if you can see it. Can everybody see my screen?
It is starting.
Yes, we can see it today.
Okay. All right. This is going to be a presentation of the Yoruba people. I'm actually a Yoruba man. I originated from the West African.
Today, you might want to tilt your camera up a little, because right now it's cutting off at you.
Or back up, yeah.
Or back up more.
Okay. I originated from the Yoruba people in West Africa, and I'm going to give you a brief history of the Yoruba people. Like Don said in the introduction, they inhabit the West African area of Nigeria. That's the majority of them, but they also have it in the Republic of Benin and Togo, which are like French-speaking areas of West Africa, but you can also find them in other areas of West Africa. The world population of the Yoruba people is estimated to be about 150 million people, which is divided mainly between, the majority is mainly between Nigeria and Brazil. Like in the introduction, we have Yoruba people in the United States, mainly in South Carolina, where they have like a commune, which is autonomous and given the power to actually run their own affairs by the United States government. They have like a kind of king who is referred to as an Oba. We also have them in Puerto Rico. More on that later. The picture here is showing the spiritual custodian of the Yoruba people. The spiritual custodian of the Yoruba people is embodied in an Oba, which is seen as a paramount spiritual king. You can see him here with Prince Charles. He doesn't need an introduction. I'm going to let you in a little bit on the governance structure of the Yoruba people as it exists before the colonial government. The structure of the Yoruba government pre-colonial time and even after the colonial time was vested usually in the Obas, but it is not like an absolute Obaship, which is like the kingdom. The king is not absolute in his own power, and he has people who help him in ruling. More on that. The Oyo Empire. The Oyo Empire is actually the largest empire that was formed within the Yoruba kingdom pre-colonial time. Its landmass was about 150,000 kilometers then, and the head of that kingdom, which still exists today, is referred to Alaafin of Oyo. And here is a picture of the present Alaafin. He is mainly ceremonial now. All powers have been stripped. And to continue with the governance, the Alaafin of Oyo usually has a parliament that helps him rule. Like I said earlier, his power is not absolute. So you have two parliaments which are like equal in power, but it is not an elective parliament. It is more of a parliament whereby the elders and chiefs within the kingdom is actually elected into these, is appointed into that parliament, or by the chieftaincy or the kind of title you hold. The head of the first parliament is called the Basharum, and the second one is the Olowu. To select the Alaafin, it is, you have to come from a royal family. It is not hereditary. Initially, it was hereditary, but they found out that the first sons usually deposed of the king. So they changed the system to make it that the elders will go ahead and select based on divination. And we're going to talk a little bit about religion too. The religion pre-colonial and pre-Christianity and pre-Islam of the Yoruba people is referred to as Ifa religion. It is still in existence today, but a lot of it was misunderstood. But a lot of it is actually being reintroduced, and so many people are embracing it. It's probably, it predates Christianity, and it is said to be a monotheistic religion, which is like, it actually believes in one God, but you know, to get to the God, you have to go through deities. This is a picture of an Ifa prince. This, as you can see, so like I said, so many people are embracing the religion, and it is not what, there's so much more enlightenment about the religion now. I'm going to talk about culture and customs of the people too, like child naming ceremony. As a Yoruba man, we don't name our child immediately the child is born. Although you might have a name in mind for the child, but you have to wait till 7 days before the child naming ceremony is done. And the name is given early in the morning on the 7th day. And a name in the Yoruba, for the Yoruba people, usually describes an event, or it explains a kind of heritage. Like my name is actually Baba Jide. Baba means father, and Jide means like get up. I was born about the time my grandfather passed on. So the name actually means the father has been born in him, the father has risen in him. So that's the situation and circumstances that child are actually named. Marriages in the Yoruba land is actually a fusion of two families. It's not just the bride and the groom. The bride price is actually very important, which is negotiated between both families. And it is as a way to show that you are capable of actually being a husband. This is just a picture of a typical Nigerian marriage. And these are items that you bring in to the engagement, which is like including the items that would have been agreed on for bride, price, and every other thing. I'm also going to talk about the Yoruba in diaspora. Like I said, the largest congregation of the Yoruba people outside of West Africa is in Brazil. I've mentioned about this South Carolina, and we also have them in Puerto Rico. We have them in Jamaica. In Jamaica, there's actually a town named Abeokuta, which is the name of the town, of the city-state that I actually originated from. In the course of my research, that's how I found out that there's a place called Abeokuta in Jamaica. And we have also in Cuba, we have the Yoruba-speaking people, and they still adhere and hold on to the language and the culture and tradition of the people. Time does not allow me to really elaborate much on this topic. As we go along, I shall probably, in the course of my development and the pathway, I might pick a topic again that will really emphasize on a narrower subject relating to the culture and tradition of the Yoruba people. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. This is my presentation.